Welcome to the deep dive. We've got these sources you sent detailing this quiet collapse of community. It's all through the eyes of Elias, this retired history teacher. He's watching his neighborhood change, you know, from being noisy and, well, connected to something really isolated. So our mission today is to unpack this. How does that social cohesion just unravel? And what are the technical processes behind what Elias is seeing? He first mentions the sound, right?
Yeah.
The street noise. It used to be neighbors calling out, checking mail together, that kind of thing.
Yeah, the everyday rituals. And now he says houses feel more like islands, just quiet. And what's really striking is how fast that visual division pops up. It's not just disagreement anymore, it's physically marked territory.
Right. Those flags he talks about, blue flags, red flags, not just for election season, but permanent. He calls them fort walls.
Exactly. Silent declaration.
And the result of these fort walls.
Well, it's the fragmentation of shared reality. The sources are pretty clear here. You have neighbors, maybe people who coached Little League together years ago. Now they can barely talk because they're just arguing about headlines they saw on their phones.
So the shared facts, the common ground, it's just gone.
Hmm.
Replaced by these, what did the source call them? Curated realities.
That's the term. Everyone's operating from a completely different information stream.
Okay, so if the flags and the separate realities are symptoms, what's the engine driving this? What are the technical mechanics the sources point to?
We really need to dig into what the study calls the spirals of dysfunction. One key mechanism Elias points out is the governance neglect spiral.
Governance neglect spiral. Okay, break that down. What does that actually mean in simple terms? Is it just government not working?
It's more than just not working, it's a feedback loop. It often starts higher up, maybe state-level government gets stuck in gridlock, total inaction. And that inaction has real consequences people feel, like slash school budgets. Elias mentions worn-out textbooks in his old classroom.
Okay, I see. So the government fails, people see it.
And they lose trust deeply, which then makes it even harder for government to function because nobody believes in it or wants to cooperate. It just feeds itself this decay.
And that failure then trickles down, creating the second spiral, the gridlock disenfranchisement spiral.
Precisely. And Elias's grandson, Leo, he's the perfect example in the source material. He sees the system as broken, gridlocked, ineffective. So what does he do?
He checks out, scrolls his phone, says, what's the point?
Yeah, the whole system is a joke. Why bother participating? The government fails to govern, and the public, or parts of it, just become completely disenfranchised. They disconnect.
Which leads us to that really sad town hall meeting about the Elm Street Bridge. I mean, this seems like it should have been simple. An unsafe bridge. That's a shared danger, right? Historically, that brings people together.
It should, but the meeting was a disaster.
Yeah.
According to Elias's notes, it completely derailed.
What happened?
People weren't actually talking about the bridge, you know, the cracks, the failing supports, the actual problem. Instead, they were literally quoting sound bites from cable news hosts at each other.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Arguing about
Fiscal responsibility versus, socialist infrastructure. It became about scoring points against the other people, not fixing the shared danger right in front of them.
But isn't there always some political disagreement with budgets? What makes this different?
The difference is that the shared object disappeared. It wasn't a debate about how to fix the bridge anymore. It instantly became a fight about identity, fueled by those curated realities we talked about. The common ground, the shared wall, was already gone before they even walked into the room.
Yeah, that contrast is so stark when Elias looks at that old photo, the 4th of July parade from the 70s. People disagreed back then, too, probably fiercely. But they were all marching together.
And that really synthesizes Elias's whole point. It used to be disagreement, sure, but it happened within the shared walls of a home they were all trying to maintain. Now, walls are down, and everyone's busy building their own little fortress on the rubble.
It's chilling, the quiet unraveling of we. And Elias, being a historian, he feels like he knows what comes next.
And that brings us right to the final thought we want to leave you with, drawing straight from that conclusion in the source. If a clear and present shared danger, like a literally crumbling bridge, isn't enough to make people work together anymore, what is? What's the prerequisite needed now to even begin rebuilding that foundation of we? If shared reality and shared threat don't cut it, what has to come first? Something to think about.